What's good, YouTube? It is your boy Big Cool coming to you from Colossal Boxing Talk, and I am back with another video. Jarrell Big Baby Miller has inquired about the services of Daniel Dubois, one of the top up-and-coming heavyweight prospects hailing from the UK. We know Jarrell Miller has a big fight coming up June 1st in New York, where he will be taking on unified heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua. Both of these fighters are undefeated. This is a fight that Miller has been calling for the longest. They kicked it off last week with their press conference going back and forth and disrespectful content, talking about each other's mother and all that kind of shit. It was kind of lame, but we ain't gonna talk about that uneventful ass press conference. We're gonna talk about shit that's gonna actually get them prepared for battle come June 1st. Daniel Dubois, like I said, one of the best up-and-coming heavyweight prospects, if not the best, in the sport of boxing right now. He's notorious. He's notorious for his punching power. He's reportedly knocked down Anthony Joshua, knocked him out, matter of fact, doing some sparring sessions. I don't know how true that is. Where there's smoke, there's fire. We all know that. But I'm not going to speculate on something I do not know. He's also sparred the likes of Alexander Povetkin, Joe Joyce, and Derek Chisora. And he's always got rave reviews. He's a young kid. I think he's 22 now. He's physically strong. He's about 6'6". He's still learning, still getting better. People are tabbing him as a future heavyweight champion. Like I said, his punching power is in line, I'm assuming, with Deontay Wilder. If not, more people may think he's a more dangerous and powerful puncher than Wilder. That is yet to really be known due to the lack of competition, but that is to be expected when you're 22 years old and you're coming up trying to be groomed and prepared for that next level. But for Jarrell Miller, this may be a great thing. It'll be interesting to see what Daniel Dubois brings to the table in terms of sparring, because he does have a similar style as Anthony Joshua. I think Anthony Joshua is more fluid. Right now, Dubois is more of a robotic in his movements. He's a plotter. He kind of still needs to work on disguising his shots a little bit. But like I said, he's an excellent prospect with a bright future. And I think that this is a good move for Jarrell Miller to do this. And this is what he had to say. He didn't speak of the name, but we all know who he's talking about in talking about Daniel Dubois. This is what he said in the interview with Talk Sports. He said, "Yeah, there are no guys bigger than me. That's not possible at this point. I found a couple of guys taller than me. I want to say one name. I heard the kid's a badass. I like the kid. I like him a lot. I like his energy, and I heard he stumped AJ a couple times down in the gym as well too. So, that's what it is. And if he can bring the best out of Miller, and Miller can actually withstand that power, because you all know these guys spar in 16-ounce boxing gloves. Some may spar in 20-ounce gloves just to, minimize the risk of a knockout in preparation of a fight, because we've heard how Chad Dawson had been knocked out the week or two before a big fight. I forget who it was he was fighting. But we know knockouts do happen in sparring. A lot of people try to keep it under wraps because it's a respect thing, and you don't want to put that out there. But sometimes it's leaked intentionally, and sometimes it happens unintentionally by accident. But this is very good for Jarrell Miller, because he's going to get acclimated against a guy who is probably physically way more stronger than Anthony Joshua. Probably punches harder than Joshua, who is a hard puncher, but not the puncher that Daniel Dubois obviously is. And it'll give him a good look to see how Dubois emulates Joshua and his movements, the way he throws his jab, the way he sets everything up. It'll be a good look, and I think he's also doing it to get in the head of Joshua a little bit. Joshua knows what went down between him and Dubois. Them two know, and probably a few others. So we gonna find out really how beneficial or non-beneficial this is for Jarrell Miller come fight night. And trust and believe, if his ass get knocked out in sparring, it probably will leak, and we'll never hear him speak of it. He probably categorically deny it, but it's a good move for him, man. In my opinion, I think that anything he can do to get best acclimated against a guy that's 2 inches taller than him and has the pedigree of Anthony Joshua can only bode well for him as he prepares for his first world title opportunity. Now, let's talk about James DeGale announcing his retirement from boxing. This past weekend, he lost a clear unanimous decision against Chris Eubank Jr., getting dropped twice in that fight. At 33 years old, he's come to the realization that he's not the guy he used to be. He's not the guy that dropped Andre Jarrell twice and won that vacant IBF super middleweight title back in 2015. He's not the guy that went to war and dropped Badu Jack, in 2017 in a unification bout, a great fight. He's not the guy that beat up on Lucian Bute, Porky Medina. He's the guy who lost to Caleb Truex after coming back too soon from surgery. He's the guy that vacated his title after winning it back from Caleb Truex in a rematch instead of facing Jose Ucatage. He's the guy who lost to motherfucking Chris Eubank Jr. Eubank Jr. is not a good fighter at all. I don't care what he did against DeGale. DeGale is clearly past his prime or clearly to the point where he just can't get it physically anymore. Eubank Jr. got manhandled by George Groves, got outboxed by Billy Joe Saunders, hasn't really looked all that well in other fights, glaring weaknesses. But, he called James DeGale at a very good point in time in his career, and he clipped him. He beat him, and he beat him clearly. And DeGale has made a smart decision. No need to risk further injury by taking on these guys when you're clearly physically not up to it. Mentally, he probably still raring to go. He wants to box, and I wouldn't be surprised if he came back and ended his retirement. But right now, he needs to really let his body recuperate. He needs to recover. He needs to, get himself 100% healthy and be able to be that guy he was back in 2015, 2016, where he was very, very good, really good fighter, and at the top of the super middleweight division. I'm talking as if he's coming back. I don't put nothing past him. He's still young at 33 years old. Injuries, though, have had, dampened and shortened his career. We're going to call it what it is. And that is exactly what it is. Injuries has killed him. This is what he had to say regarding his retirement. I lost a fight on Saturday at the O2, but I'm touched to have a good send-off from the fans in my home city. The day after the fight, someone said to me that one fight does not determine a legacy. Looking back, if someone had told me at the start of my boxing career, when I was in the English squad, that I would become an Olympic gold medalist, British and European champion, and a two-time world champion, I would have never believed them. But I did it, and I'd like to think I did it the clean, honest, and hard way with discipline and respect to the sport. I'm proud to say that I've made history as the first ever British Olympian to turn professional and win a world title, and I'm also proud to have been a road warrior, to travel wherever I needed to be to fight and to win. There's nothing left to prove. A majority of the greats go out on a loss, and for me, it's time to hang up the gloves and move on with my head held high. Before I close off, let me mention a few people who have been through the highs and lows. Firstly, thank you to all my fans and supporters. It's been great to meet some of you along the way. Thank you for your support. It's carried me to the top. To the media, there's too many of you to thank personally, but thanks for the coverage and for the jokes along the way. A special mention to Richard Maynard. You are a true gentleman and a pleasure to work with. The major UK TV networks that my fights have been televised on: Sky Sports, BT Sport, Channel 5, BBC, and I'm happy to have entered it on ITV, Showtime in the US, who have a fantastic team that have featured me plenty of times. Special thanks to my family, friends, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I ain't about to go all this shit because I ain't think it was that long. But y'all get the drift. He announced his retirement, and props to him. He had a very good career. Beat Andre Jarrell. He beat Lucian Bute. He beat Porky Medina. He fought Badu Jack. He fought Caleb Truex twice. Split 1-1. lost to Chris Eubank Jr. He lost to George Groves. And he did what he could do, man. Like I said, he made history, becoming the first British fighter to win Olympic gold and become a world champion. And then nobody can take that from him. Nobody can take that from him at all. And I hope he has a great retirement and enjoys the fruits of his labor. Stays in boxing in some capacity, whether it's as a commentator, manager, trainer, something, man. Because, you know, his knowledge, you know, definitely could benefit a young up-and-coming fighter from the UK or maybe from America or somewhere else around the world. But if you like this video, hit that like button, drop your comments in the comment section down below, giving me your thoughts. If you enjoy the content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell button to be notified every time I upload content. Be sure to check out 3kingsboxing.com for your latest and greatest updated, unfiltered, and unbiased boxing news and information reported the way it should be. Until next time, I am out. Peace.